Rep. Mackensee, it doesn't indicate anywhere on here at what point the letter should be provided and if it would be to the OBGYN or the hospital. My concern is if, God forbid, something happened during childbirth, I'd want to make sure that the wishes of the mother was brought forward onto the birth certificate.
In answer to that, I haven't had a baby in a long time, but if I recall, you fill out the birth certificate before leaving the hospital.
Correct.
And if you don't name the baby, they just put male, female, and you have to go to town hall and figure that out later. But as far as the other parent, unless the court comes down with a decision as to paternity, I think it's generally filled out right there in the hospital before you leave. As a matter of fact, my recollection is it's mandatory that the birth certificate be filled out before you leave.
I don't think they gave us the option to even not fill it out. We had to have a name before we left.
So my question is, should we be addressing that in this bill, that in the case of same-sex couples that are about to give birth, that there should be a letter on the record prior to giving birth? God forbid if anything happens during childbirth, at least the mother's wishes are going to be carried forward.
No, that's a good point.
Okay.
But
that's
we
true.
can certainly do that. There should be some kind of form that they fill out. Did they hand you a form saying who's the father when you gave birth to Eli?
They just gave us the standard birth certificate form.
Yeah.
And then we actually spoke with the hospital administrator trying to figure out if we were able to somehow fill out the affidavit of paternity and have it apply to Sarah. And they said that's just not possible.
Well, I know the Rhode Island Department of Health has sent a letter as well, and they're very much in support. They want to work with us to fix the forms and do whatever we need to do, tweak the language if necessary. So I'm more than willing to do all of that.
Great, thank you.
Representative Filippi.
I have a question for the committee and the sponsor as well. I think this is a wonderful bill and it needs to happen. My concern is that there's probably a lot of cases out there where we might need to fix it, like this one. If we pass this bill, what are their options? Are there options they still have to go to court because the birth certificate wasn't filled out according to the law we're about to pass at the time of birth? Or should we say there's a 3-year look back for same-sex couples to amend their birth certificate without having to go through the time and expense of a court process to judicially put the stamp of approval on? I'd like to see something like that so the people who have appeared before us don't have to go through the court process and can just do some administrative thing at town hall. I don't do family law. I don't know.
Yeah.
Am I correct in my analysis or no?
Well, it would be nice if we could do that. I'm not sure if we'd have to get some feedback from the family court. I don't see why we couldn't. I mean, I'd have to look up whether or not, how long does the mother have the right to put somebody's name on the birth certificate without going to court? I mean, I think it's fairly easy for a while, but I can't say with any certainty, so. But we will look into that, Blake.
Okay.
If we could do it retroactive, that would be great for them and other couples like them.
Because I'm sure this isn't the only couple that's facing this problem.
Yeah, no.
Okay, thank you, Anna, and thank you, Dr. Watson, and thank you, Eli, for making your first Capital TV appearance. I'm sure it won't be your last. And we have, as Representative Mackensee said, we do have a letter from Dr. Nicole Alexander-Scott from the Rhode Island Department of Health, very supportive of the bill and offering to sit with the sponsor to make some changes. And the ACLU sent a very similar letter, and perhaps the family court would be of assistance, and I'm sure the sponsor will work hard on this bill, and we look forward to getting it right and correcting this injustice. So